All right, let's talk about one of the biggest shifts happening in AI right now. We're moving past AI that just talks to you to AI that actually does things for you. Yeah, this is way beyond your standard chatbot.
We've all gotten pretty used to asking our AIs for stuff, right? Hey, give me a recipe or summarize this article. But what if you could ask it to actually do stuff? Like, hey, go complete this task for me or manage this project. What if it could just go out and interact with the digital world for you? That's the huge leap we're diving into.
So, what's the real difference here? Think of it like this. A chatbot is, well, it's reactive. You ask it a question, it gives you an answer. It's like a really smart search engine. But an AI agent? That's proactive. You give it a goal, and it figures out all the steps it needs to take to get that goal done. It's not an answer getter, it's a task doer. Okay, so let's get into it. We're going to break down what exactly makes these AI agents so different and, honestly, so much more powerful. This definition here, it's from the folks at Anthropic who work on Claude, and it really hits the nail on the head. An agent isn't just about giving you one-off answers. No, it's designed to tackle these big, open-ended problems. How? By taking multiple steps, using tools like a web search or a code interpreter, and kind of figuring things out as it goes to hit that final goal. Right. So how in the world does an AI learn to do all that? What's the secret sauce? What's in its playbook that turns it from a simple chatbot into this active problem-solving agent? Well, according to the researchers at Anthropic, the secret is practice. Just tons and tons of practice. Seriously. Models like Claude get thrown into countless open-ended problems where they have to learn to code and search with almost no handholding. They're basically just practicing being an agent again and again and again until they become masters at it. And all that practice builds up these three core abilities. First, and this is a big one, they learn how to use tools. Second, they get good at handling those really complex multi-step tasks. And third, and this is absolutely crucial, they learn to look at what they just did, see the result, get feedback, and then correct themselves to stay on the right path. It's a feedback loop. Now, you might hear the word coding and think, okay, that's for developers. But for an AI agent, coding is like its superpower. It's the ultimate tool. Why? Because being able to write and run a little piece of code is the key to doing almost anything on a computer. We're talking searching the web, making a diagram, or even planning a date night by finding cool activities in restaurants. It all comes down to code. Okay, so if coding is the agent's main tool, how do you teach it to do a specific job? That's where this really cool concept called skills comes into play. Just think of a skill as a pre-packaged bundle of expertise you can give to the AI. It's like an onboarding guide. You can pack in instructions, some code scripts, maybe even some files, and boom, the agent has everything it needs to get started on that specific task. This whole idea of instantly giving an AI expert-level knowledge is just so powerful. And it kind of reminds you of something straight out of the Matrix, right? Remember that scene when they just plug Neo in and bam, he knows Kung Fu? That's exactly what giving an agent a skill is like. You're not just giving it a to-do list, you're literally injecting it with all the expertise and resources it needs. All of a sudden, it's a master. Not at Kung Fu, but at, say, building a complex financial model or designing a killer presentation. And it gets even cooler because these agents can work together in teams. There are a couple ways this can happen. You've got a workflow of agents, which is kind of like an assembly line. One agent does its job, then passes the work on to the next one. But then you have a multi-agent system, which is more like a creative brainstorm. You have a bunch of agents all working on the same problem at the same time, delegating tasks to get things done way faster. And what's really wild is how human this all is. When you have one AI acting as a manager for other AIs, it has to learn how to delegate properly. And just like a person, it messes up at first. One of the Anthropic researchers said it makes all the same mistakes a first-time manager makes, giving vague instructions, not enough context. But with more training, it actually learns to be a much better, more effective manager. All right, so we've talked about what these agents are and how they learn. Now let's get practical. Let's look at a huge, real-world problem that these agents are already tackling: the constant, never-ending battle with information overload. I mean, just think about YouTube for a second. In 2023, it had something like 2.6 billion users. And every single day, hundreds of thousands of hours of video get uploaded. The scale of it all is it's insane. And that creates a problem we all face, right? There's way too much video out there for any human to possibly watch.
So how do you find the one key piece of information you're looking for without wasting hours watching videos? Well, this is a perfect job for an AI agent. And here's how they do it. It all starts with a simple link to a video. The agent's first move is to transcribe all the audio into text. Once it has that text, it cleans it up and feeds it to another AI model to create a perfect, concise summary. And for the grand finale, it can even whip up a quiz based on that summary. So you get the whole package all neatly tied up. But here's the thing. The whole system lives or dies on accuracy. If the transcription is bad, the summary is going to be bad. The best models are hitting over 92% accuracy, and that's absolutely critical. It's the classic garbage in, garbage out problem. You have to get that first step right. So what do people actually want from a tool like this? Well, this chart says it all. Sure, quizzes are nice, downloadable text is handy, but summaries are the real killer app. They make up 45% of what people are asking for. And that just proves the point. We're all drowning in information, and agents are the perfect tool to help us condense it down. So what's next? Where is all this heading? Let's look into the future a bit and see how these agents are going to evolve from being just our assistants to being our actual AI coworkers. Okay, the next big steps are huge. There are two of them. First, agents are going to get way better at checking their own work. So imagine an agent that doesn't just write the code for you, but then actually runs the app, tests it, finds the bugs, and fixes them itself. The second big leap, agents will be able to just use your computer the same way you do. And this quote right here just perfectly sums up that first point. The goal is to close that loop of testing so that you don't have to be the AI's quality assurance engineer. You want an agent that's so reliable, you don't even have to double check what it did. It goes from being a tool you have to supervise to a coworker you can trust. And that second idea, the one about agents using our computers directly, that paints the picture of the ultimate endgame here. Can you imagine just asking your AI, hey, can you clean up this messy Google Doc? And then watching as it just does it. It's scrolling, it's clicking, it's editing, right there with you. The AI becomes this helpful partner, literally anywhere you work. So this all brings us to one last big question, and this one's for you. As this stuff becomes more and more a part of our daily lives, if you could give an AI agent one skill, one prepackaged bundle of expertise to automate something you do, what would be the very first tedious, annoying task you'd give it? Really think about it, because the possibilities here are pretty much endless.